guys, we got CPI today, as you know. We've got a bit of a mixed picture going on in risk, so it could be a little bit of profit taking before the risk event. We had a really bullish day yesterday. VIX is now below 20, so that's bullish as well, and the risk calc is telling us we're risk on as well. So the retail guys are short in indices, but they're adding short over time. So there's 9.2 SSI minus 9.2. So for every one person buying the S&P or the Dow Jones or the DAX, there's 9.2 people trying to short those indices on average. So those guys are going to be wrong, I think. But it's CPI today, and it can just turn around in quite a sort of violent way, so we have to be careful. As you can see, we're quite negative actually, so I think it's a bit of profit taking. For the Euro USD on the TPO chart, you want to be keeping an eye on 114.21. This is the current volume node on this session here, and we're making a volume node lower than the one prior. Lots of volume yesterday and only a small volume because we just really started the day. And imagine this is going to get very, very large today, and lots of buyers and sellers stepping in. And so keep an eye on 114.20. You can see that it bounced off that volume node, right? We might come up to this one at 114.32. That might be resistance, which we can do a POC ray. And you can see, we might come up to that. We might come back down. We might chop, to be honest, looking at this. So that's that being said. I'm going to talk about the yen crosses and also Aussie as well, because I said I was going to look at Aussie on the daily bulletin. So yeah, so let's have a look at this Aussie. This is a large stop loss cluster. Now you can see where you'd want to target because it's sticking out like a sore thumb. Literally, it's so large, it makes sense that we'd want to couple and take those stops. It's not like a normal stop loss cluster placement where it's like the average. It's sticking out really, really strongly, and that level is 72.10. So for some reason their stops not at the round number, but just above. On 10 pips above the round number, but they don't realise that they're doing the same as the majority. They've made a really dumb herd mistake here. So I think this is going to be likely for the CPI data up and then maybe down to test monthly pivot, where it's going to be a buy because we're above monthly pivot, and then we'll do this scenario. Okay, got an ascending channel, got a strong ascending channel here. This is a H4. This is your half an hour. AJ, yeah, see that's strong here. See, and we've broken this large descending channel as well. So the one above for AJ is 83.10 and 82.45. This isn't sticking out as much as the AU, but it's still sticking out. So target 83.11. We are currently yen's getting crushed, which makes sense because at the sentimental level we're risk on. We are buy here, and they sold it, so that would agree. They sold it. The 50% cross occurred here, just there. So fairly strong move that one. Euro yen. And likewise, you can see what's happening here. Huge stop loss cluster. 132.25, 131.59. We are a buy. They sold it in a huge way. They said that this was one of the largest moves that they'd seen. I watched a webinar yesterday from Daily FX. They said this was the strongest move in years on EJ. I'd take their word for it, but apparently, they shorted it, so away we went. So monthly pivot's there, MR1's there. Because we're above MR1, we should logically target MR2. Alright, so this is why you want to use the monthly pivots, because they're like binary yes/no values. So if we're above, we're bullish. We're below, we could be bearish, but ideally you'd want a below monthly pivot. So I think definitely a liquidity probe today, and pound yen. And then that's it, I guess. Nice and quick video. 130 is the CPI data, so do be aware of that. Don't open any trades necessarily. 157 and 156. It's very strong ascending channel on H4. We're above monthly pivot, but we've got MR1 resistance. And so that's that. So the Euro USD is still okay. You might want to consider taking profit if you have got profit, because we ended up quite high, around about here, just below MR1. So you would have made about 15 pips profit, which isn't great. But however, EA was very nice. Hopefully you would have caught that. I don't know if it's going to load, but yeah, I mean, you can see. Yeah, this is 3 days ago, so it's very strong moves to the downside. Because this is falling, it tells us that we're risk on. But however, you maybe want to pay attention to this volume node here at 159.23, and we're making a higher volume node than the one prior, so it might be that using this as support 159.11. We could have a little bit of risk off day, in so much that they're going to take profits, because yesterday was very roller coaster, and it destroyed the bears. So I think maybe that's what it is. It's going to be a bit of a roller coaster day, and at the big picture we are risk on. So you would want to be looking to buy dips, but maybe could just be a bit of a volatile session today, I think. So trade carefully. If you want me to do any TPO charts, just let me know. So I've got this license for Quad Tower. Just tell me, and that's that. So I suppose just be careful, and I'll be back tomorrow morning for the wrap up video for the week.